They were about to get sued because what they did was completely illegal, and you have 3 weeks to fix it if you do that. And boy, oh boy, did they just barely fix it. When I first started making videos about Better.com, I never thought I would get to a 4th video, yet here we are. And that's because things just keep getting worse, and that's what I want to go over with you today. But first, I have a joke for you. Are you ready? What if I told you that LinkedIn has selected Better.com for the top startup to work at in the United States? I wish I was joking. Here's the list. LinkedIn top startups for the United States. If we scroll down, number 1 is Better.com. Are you serious, LinkedIn? I don't know if you can still edit this page, but I suggest you do so if you can. I think just move Gong to number 1. I think they win by default now. I thought that was pretty hilarious. This is just an insult to literally everyone. Let's spend the rest of the video tearing this trash company apart. Let's start off with this email from Vishal a week after he did the layoffs. Team, I want to apologize for the way I handled the layoffs last week. I failed to show the appropriate amount of respect and appreciation for the individuals who were affected and for their contributions to Better, my $25 million bonus specifically. I own the decisions to do the layoffs, but in communicating it, I blundered the execution. I think that's because you made it about yourself when you said,
and I do not want to do this. The last time I did it, I cried.
No one cares about you. 900 other people are losing their livelihoods, okay? I realize the way I communicated this news made a difficult situation worse. I am deeply sorry. Cry me some of those sweet, sweet crocodile tears. I am committed to learning from this situation and doing more to be the leader that you expect me to be. At Better, your dedication, focus, and expertise are essential in the vital work we are doing to unlock the value, joy, and opportunity of homeownership for our customers across the country. I believe in you. Like, if that's not a slap in the face, I don't know what is. I believe in Better. I mean, it's your company and you got a lot of money in it. I would expect you would. And I believe that working together, we can make homeownership better together. So to me, this letter shows no real sincere apology. This is just classic damage control and crocodile tears. So here's the email the board of directors sent out to everyone that works at Better.com. Good morning. Vishal and the board wanted to provide Better employees an update given the very regrettable events over the last week. Vishal will be taking time off effective immediately. Paid vacation, am I right? That $25 million bonus you gave yourself in cash last year isn't going to spend itself, am I right? While you wait for the bad PR and all of the outrage to blow over. It's classic, but let's keep reading. As well, the board has engaged an independent third-party firm to do a leadership and cultural assessment. Again, this is all just damage control for the employees that still work there, that were probably just about to jump ship, and then they were gullible enough to be like,
oh, a leadership and cultural assessment team's coming in to make it a better place to work. I guess I'll stay.
That's what this is. You think they're going to actually take any recommendations from this? It kind of reminds me of Blizzard, and they're asking the CEO of Blizzard to step down, and the CEO puts out a statement that says, I need to investigate my company first and figure out what more there's left for me to do to make it a better place. The recommendations of this assessment will be taken into account to build a long-term sustainable and positive culture at Better. We have much work to do, and we hope that everyone can refocus on our customers and support each other to continue to build a great company and a company we can be proud of. The next thing I want to talk about is the class action lawsuit that was this close to being filed against Better.com until they realized what they did. Let me explain. In the video call where Vishal lays off 900 people, he says that
For all U.S. employees, we're providing 4 weeks of severance.
Well, there is a labor law called the WARN Act. Now, I should have caught this, and I should have thought about it, or HR lady should have caught it, or someone, but none of us did. And anyways, if you have a company with over 100 full-time employees, you have to give them a 60-day notice if you're going to fire them all at once. And if you don't give them a 60-day notice, you at least have to give them a 60-day severance. Well, the Better.com CEO did not do that. In the video, he says you get 1 month severance. But then, just at the last moment, they decided, you know what? To really help our struggling employees out, we're going to give them an extra month of severance. They were about to get sued because what they did was completely illegal, and you have 3 weeks to fix it if you do that. And boy, oh boy, did they just barely fix it. Anyways, they're not getting sued for this one anymore, but according to other reports, there are still class action lawsuits against Better.com in the process. And I don't know what they are yet, but supposedly we'll find out. Now let's talk about executives quitting at the company after this. The company's head of marketing, Melody Hahn, head of public relations, Tanya, vice president of communications, Patrick, have all resigned. The high-level departures are directly related to the CEO Vishal Garg's handling of recent layoffs at the company and his reportedly divisive management style. Anyone who is leaving right now, these are folks that have tried to make it work and given it all to their company they believe in, but who ultimately got undermined by a CEO that doesn't take advice from anyone and believes he's always right. A source familiar with the CEO told Insider. So that's actually how I found out about LinkedIn voting Better.com as the top startup? Because here's the head of public relations, Tanya, for Better.com. She quit, by the way. But 2 months ago, she shared this. So pumped to work at Better, who has just been named LinkedIn's #1 startup of 2021, the only company to get this award 2 years in a row. Wow. I don't know, Tanya. I don't know if I'd still be keeping this one up. That's not looking good. Now, let's talk about some emails from Vishal Garg to an investor in his company that was questioning Vishal on, wait, why are we doing the SPAC route to go public instead of just doing an IPO and going public ourselves? Vishal demolishes him. Thank you, Howard. Plus every Better investor. So almost every single investor that has invested in Better.com is CC'd on this email, by the way. So we are planning to use the Bank of America. My team, led by Kevin Ryan, our CFO, which that's the guy who got his salary raised from $156,000 a year to $1 million just in one go, just like that. I would love to understand what insecurity or concern prompted this joint letter. As far as I know, the only people who have ever clearly violated their fiduciary duty to the company were the Pinebrook nominees, namely, and then he just roasts them, and blackmailed me on 5 p.m. on a Friday afternoon and held the company hostage till I invested $5 million of my own personal money into the company around this time 2 years ago to prevent a potential event of default on our credit lines. Are you dissatisfied with the return you have received since then, Howard? From $1 when you got someone at a major investment bank to vouch for you and your bona fides that you weren't just another old private equity Neanderthal content to generate something. Please do me a favor and tender your shares to the company and the other investors who actually care about its mission and growth and aren't trying to sit there all day figuring out how to squeeze the company for every last nickel. Now, Vishal, I feel like you've been doing this for a long time now. I think you would understand that it's an investor's goal to literally squeeze the company for every last nickel they can get. That's what they do. The board, investors, they squeeze the profits out of companies. I don't know why you're complaining. Nick and the rest of the board and the team, see below from Howard, co-signed by Steve and Michael, even a rocket ship needs a garbage disposal bin and a shitter. Can you please help me take out the barnacles and the sewage? We are in orbit and we still haven't been able to take care of these issues. Best. And he's referring to investors, people that have invested money into his company. He's calling them Neanderthals, barnacles, garbage. Here's another email where he's talking to Howard. Howard, I am done getting triggered by you and wasting my time with you. Me and my team are working night and day, making a lot of personal sacrifices to build this company. Sacrifices like sliding $25 million into your personal bank account in cash. Such a hard sacrifice. And I appreciate that your misery loves my company. You have robbed me of the joy of building this unbelievable company for the last time. I am blocking your email. Anything you have to say to me, you can say to our general counsel. Bye-bye, Howard. It's like reading a stupid MySpace message from an angry teenager. So after these emails were sent out by Vishal, the investors, the ones he's roasting in this email, decide to sue. Newman and the fund he founded, Pinebrook Partners, sued Better.com in July 2021 for breach of contract. It was a dispute over a technical provision in an investment contract with Better, and it was settled on mutually acceptable terms in early November. That's essentially saying that he lost, right? They sued him for money, and instead of going through the entire process, Vishal is just probably like, here's a bunch of money, shut up and leave me alone. Okay, let's look into the shadier side of Better.com. So Vishal Garg, the CEO of the online mortgage company, has had multiple legal liabilities, conflicts of interest, and corporate governance problems since even before the company placed him on leave on Friday. The CEO of Better.com owns, controls, or has a majority stake in multiple companies that are connected to Better.com. The company said in August filings, in the SEC paper that I showed you in the last video, they pay an analytics company called The Number. And this analytics company they pay, Vishal Garg also has a controlling stake in. And Better.com is paying the analytics company. He's essentially just paying himself through another company. You see what I'm saying? And which is paid $8,500 a month for its services to Better.com. I mean, that's the big brain play, right? You just make multiple businesses, and then you have your businesses just pay each other. And because different businesses have different tax expensable items they can use based on their business, it's a win-win. And then you can move money around and buy things that aren't for one business tax-free because you have another business that needs it, and you can get that one tax-free. Assuming it's necessary and ordinary to do your job according to the IRS. So it's pretty big brain, if we're being honest. In the SEC filing known as an S4, Better also said it was negotiating a contract with a company called Notable Finance, a company controlled by Vishal Garg. Better further disclosed that it had an agreement with a company called Embark. This company was led by Vishal Garg's wife. and the goal was to rent space to a company in Midtown Manhattan building. And last but not least, Vishal Garg has his own investment company, and the people that work at this investment company are also Better.com executives. They're also engaged in a compensation agreement of undisclosed value, and Vishal is both an investor in The Number and Notable Six. He's over here talking about dedication and loyalty, and then also has like 6 other companies he's running on the side, which I think is pretty funny. Here's a quote where he talks about how he hired the wrong people. Today we acknowledge that we overhired and hired the wrong people. That's a slap in the face to those people who got hired or fired, I guess. And in doing that, we failed. I failed. I was not disciplined over the past 18 months. We made $250 million last year. You know what? We probably pissed away $200 million of it. We could have made more money last year and been leaner and meaner and hungrier, but we lost $100 million last quarter. That was my mistake. We should have done what we did today 3 months ago, and this was right after he fired the 900 people. And finally, I have an email sent from an employee that was fired, and this is Vishal's response to that employee. Leave now and save us both the trouble. You're likely super well paid. Email me directly and we will pay you to leave early so we don't sit here waiting for you to show up with your end of the work that needs to be done and then get left holding the bag. So anyways, I think we've learned over these past few videos Vishal Garg's true character. And so when we read this little apology message that he sent out to the company after he laid everyone off, it just makes you want to use it as toilet paper, It's not believable at all. Just light it on fire and throw it outside. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for Better.com. Hopefully this really is the last video. If you can appreciate the research, go ahead and click the like button. I'd appreciate that. Subscribe if you'd like to see me take on the corporate world some more and call them out since I know you can't. Hopefully this entire saga has been a learning experience for people that experience this layoff or people watching this layoff happen. Companies can do this. Companies will do this. Companies think about themselves first. So you, as the employee, should do the same. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.